Welcome to another informational show about social media marketing. If you're a band, a business, or use social networking, you want to hear Highway to Success with your host, Cynthia McIntosh.
Welcome from beautiful, sunny Southern California. My name is Cynthia McIntosh, and I am your host here on the Highway to Success show on Indy 104. The Highway to Success show is brought to you by Success with McIntosh every Wednesday at 12 noon Pacific Standard Time here on Indy104.com. The purpose of this show is to help give you the tools you need to make the most of your social media marketing campaign. We honestly believe that social media marketing is a very important part of any business. Whether you are an attorney, a songwriter, an artist, or an accountant, no matter what kind of business you have, I feel it is vital that you have a strong social media marketing campaign. I also am strongly aware that to find information online about how to do social media marketing can be very overwhelming. There is so much out there and so many opinions on what to do. That's why we created the Highway to Success show. We provided simple, easy-to-follow suggestions on how to create a social media marketing campaign that works. Sometimes we have professionals in different industries come on the show to discuss their business and how social media marketing works for them. Other times, I bring experts in specific areas of social media marketing on the show to share their expertise. And sometimes, I even bring my own clients on the show in order to discuss what they're doing and what we're doing with their social media marketing campaigns. I really enjoy doing this because it allows them to voice their concerns and their questions on the air, because I know that some of you will share the same concerns and questions. But no matter what we do on the show, our goal is to inspire you and to help you through the maze we call social media marketing, and to give you new and exciting ways to build your business. So, stay tuned and we will be right back after this.
Working hard to burn a broken
And we're back with Highway to Success with Cynthia McIntosh.
So how fun was that? That was a song by the Crossroads Band from the Hudson Valley. The name of the song is Free Man. The Crossroads Band released their first album in 2002, and they have been blessed with quite a bit of well-earned success since then. Visit their website at crossrdsband.com. That's crossrdsband.com for information on the band, its members, and all of their CDs, including both of their critically acclaimed CDs, Heading South, which was released in 2008, and Crossroads, released in 2002. And of course, while you're on their website, shoot them a message and let them know how much you enjoyed their music. And be sure to let them know Cynthia from the Highway to Success show on Indie 104 sent you. And for those of you who are just tuning in, my name is Cynthia, and I am your host here on the Highway to Success show, discussing social media marketing techniques and helping you to be as successful as possible in your business. And so with that, I am ready to talk social media marketing. As I mentioned earlier, every week I look forward to offering suggestions and tools to help our listeners to improve their social media marketing campaigns. And today, I think you will have a lot of fun with this show. I really enjoy working with the tools I'm going to share with you, and I'm sure you will too. They're fun, interesting, entertaining, and very successful in social media marketing campaigns. I want to start off by discussing something that some of you may have never even heard of or considered using for your social media marketing campaign. But yet they're so easy to use, and they are one of the most productive tools in the social media marketing world. You don't see them used often, and yet when you do, they are always very well received. So I'm not exactly sure why more people don't use them, except that not everyone knows what they are or how to work with them. But after today, you will. So I'm really excited about the show today. As I've said in previous shows, content is the name of the game in social media marketing. The better your content, the more successful your campaign is going to be. If you have content that attracts people's attention, that's wonderful. But if it isn't something that creates an interaction, then it really isn't doing the job for you. You need to put content on your page that will encourage people to share, comment, and post. If none of that is happening, then you aren't really marketing. Social media marketing is all about creating relationships and then getting referrals from those new relationships. Before I go any further, let me explain what I mean by that, because if you haven't heard me say that before, you may not know exactly what I mean, so it's worth repeating. I think most business owners agree that referrals are the best marketing a business can get. We all strive as business owners to get good referrals, and in my opinion, Facebook is one of the best ways to get an amazing amount of free referrals. Again, if you haven't heard me say that before, I should explain myself. Simply put, the average person has, I believe at this point in time, about 300 friends on their personal page on Facebook. That includes people that are fans of yours on your business page on Facebook. As a business, if you have a business page, and you're supposed to, so if you don't, call me. But if you have 10 fans on your page, you actually have the potential of reaching 3,000 people. But it depends on you posting content that gets those 10 fans of yours to interact. If you post something on your page and just one of your fans on your page responds by posting a comment, by liking the post, or by sharing your post, you have just reached 300 people. And this is why. When your fan comments, likes your post, or shares your post, all 300 of his or her friends on her personal page will receive a notification letting them know that their friend went to your page. Each of that person's friends will be notified that their friend went and liked something on your page and liked it enough to post, like, or share it. So basically, you just got 300 referrals. Now let's say one of those 300 people goes to your page to check it out and see what his or her friends saw and responded to, and also responds. There's 300 more referrals. So you can see why it can become very viral. And in this example, I'm only using one of your original fans reacting to your post. If you have 10 fans and all 10 fans interact and respond to your post, their 3,000 friends will all receive a notification and in turn possibly go to your page and get involved. So the more engaging content you put on your page, the better. So the big question becomes, what kind of content is engaging? Well, for one, questions are always good. Ask people, what would you do if? What do you think about? Which would you choose? To make it even more engaging, a good colorful picture with a question about the picture is even better. Something that's going to encourage the people to respond. And also, Facebook has a wonderful polling option as well. But think of things that relate to your business and ask questions to get people to get involved. Do it in a way that gets people talking about themselves if you can. But your goal is to get people to interact with you and each other. Another is videos. In the social media marketing kingdom, videos are always king. YouTube is as big as it is for a reason. People love videos. So if you can create short videos to post that will get people involved, something that they will want to share with others, do it. Last week we talked about videos and Google Plus Hangouts. Hangouts are great. Do a hangout with Google Plus and post it to your YouTube and to your Facebook page. If you missed last week's show, go to my website and look up the radio show archive and listen to it. It will tell you a lot more about Hangouts and give you a lot of ideas on how to do an interesting hangout regardless of the type of business you're in. Okay, so far we've discussed pictures, questions, and videos for good content. And typically, if you look up information on the internet on how to do social media marketing and you research what kind of content to post, that's the same information that you'll find elsewhere for the most part. That's fairly basic. Another thing that you will often find is contests. Contests are great, but not necessarily conducive to any kind of business. It's a little harder to put together. However, that is not to say that it's not a good idea in some cases. And one of these days I'll do a show on contests and how to do them successfully. There are some tools that one can use to create a successful contest, but we'll cover that at a later date. However, one thing that is often overlooked is infographics. If you do not know what I mean by that, you're not alone, and that's what I wanted to discuss today. Infographics, in my opinion, are the best of the best. It's pictures, questions, intriguing information, and something people want to share all in one post. But you rarely see it on Facebook pages. Why is that? Well, most people don't know what infographics are, and if they do, they don't usually know where to find them. So that's why I wanted to discuss it in this part of the show. An infographic is basically an article about a very specific subject where data is collected, sorted, and put into a graphic format. It's taking the old adage, a picture is worth 1,000 words, and putting it into action. An infographic will say tons with very little text. It's done in an eye-catching way, and the subject matter is something that is designed to attract interest. So it's very conducive to sharing when used in social media marketing environments. For example, I saw an infographic on the subject, what is an infographic? It's really quite interesting. It was virtually no text except for titles, and yet it explains fairly well what an infographic is. The what is an infographic is a series of 4 pictures or graphics. The first one is titled Data, and it's a picture of a bunch of Legos, believe it or not. The Legos were of various colors, just laid out on a big white background. The next picture was titled Sorted, and it was a picture of the same Legos, except now the Legos were sorted by color, still laid out on that white background. The third picture was titled Arranged. In this picture, the Legos were still sorted by color, but now they're stacked in piles instead of just laying single layer on the white background. And finally we come to a picture titled Presented Visually. And we see the same Legos stacked on top of each other by color so that one can see that there are equal amounts of red and yellow Legos, and that there are obviously a lot more red and yellow Legos than there are black, green, orange, and light green Legos. And then there's a stack of blue Legos that stack up to be somewhere in between the red and yellow Legos and the other colors. So, with just 5 words in text, data, sorted, arranged, and presented visually, and 4 pictures, they have said a lot. And that's an infographic. Now, that was a very simple one, because it was trying to explain in very simple terms what an infographic is. However, they can get much more complex than that, make a very strong and interesting point about something, and still do it in a way that requires very little text and is mostly visual. The better the graphics tell a story, the better the results you'll get. Let me share a few other examples with you. Here's an example of something a bit more complex. I recently saw an infographic that said this. The title of the infographic was, quote, "Mind Blown, an exploded view of the human brain." How's that for a title? And the description said, quote, "Curious to know what each part of your brain looks like and what it does? This detailed chart provides an exploded view of the human brain, labeling each part's function from hunger and language to sneezing, vomiting, and posture. Enjoy!" End quote. A lot of people would click on the infographic just because of the title, regardless of what line of work they were in. It's just an interesting subject. Doesn't it make you curious? It did me. So for me, it did what it was supposed to. It made me click the link to see the infographic. Once I did, I saw a fascinating picture of the brain, and it was exactly what it said it was. A description of each section of the brain and what it did. Now here's the deal. You post the infographic on your Facebook page, and what shows is a little thumbnail of the infographic itself and a description that you create. So what I see in Facebook for this infographic is a really small picture and the description I just read to you. When I click on the link, it takes me to the actual infographic, which is a big picture of the brain and descriptions of each part of it. If that one didn't impress you, or that's just not your cup of tea, here's another interesting one I found recently that you might enjoy. The title is, quote, "Today in the Context of Eternity," end quote. And the description is kind of cute. It reads, quote, "Having a long day? This interactive visualization shows you today in the context of a month, a year, millennium, era, eon, since the beginning of humanity, the forming of the earth, the universe, and so on. Let's just say, that put this way, today may not seem so never-ending after all." End quote. This one sounded really fun to me and made me curious. Again, it did its job. I clicked on it, and it, again, was exactly what it promised to be. This one was a little different, and once I saw it, it was definitely something that I would want to pass around. The reason this one was different is that it was actually a PowerPoint presentation of sorts. It was very simple, but interesting. It started off with a black background and a white box right in the middle of your screen that said, "This is today." And it had today's date on it. Then right below that box, it said, "OK," and so I clicked OK, and suddenly my screen changed. Now the box that said, "This is today," became more narrow, and the text that read, "This is today," was moved above the box with an arrow pointing to the box. And the box became part of a color-coded timeline. To the left of the box was a long section called "This Month." And of course the box represented a small portion of this month, one day. Then again, you click on OK underneath the timeline, and the timeline changes again to show "This Year." And the section previously labeled as "This Month" became smaller to represent 1/12 of the year, and the day box becomes smaller to represent 1/30th of the month. And so you continue clicking OK after each timeline, and each time you do, the timeline changes to represent a larger period of time, and of course, as this happens, your "This is Today" box becomes less and less prominent until it's virtually non-existent. It's a fun, interactive, and very interesting infographic. And they don't always have to be so serious. Want something sillier? Okay, it can be done. Snapple produced one that I just saw a couple of days ago entitled, quote, "There are more chickens than humans," end quote. The description read, quote, "We love chickens. Always have. On average, every American consumed 249 eggs last year. And during the 1990s, humans ate 80 pounds of chicken per person per year. Don't be chicken. Open this infographic for more interesting facts and visit snapple.com for more reenactments." End quote. So apparently Snapple found out these work. So this was again a simple but fun and interesting infographic that caught my attention. All it was a bunch of pictures of chickens and some little known factoids about them that were really pretty entertaining. Such as, in ancient times, chickens foretold victory or defeat in battles. Did you know that? I didn't either. My life won't change because of this new fact I learned, but it was fun. Okay, here's another one. It's called, quote, "We all want to be young." And the description says, quote, "They are on the top of the influence pyramid. Their new languages and behaviors are inspirational to people that are both younger and older than them. But the incredible power of today's youth is directly related to those that came before them." End quote. Okay, now you can't tell me that that title and description didn't make you curious. I'm sure most of you would be curious. And again, I was. So I bit the bait and clicked on the link. And this one was just fascinating. It described through graphics the difference between those born in the 60s and 70s and those born in the 80s and 90s. The first group being referred to as Generation X and the second group being referred to as the Millennials. And as you scroll down the infographic, it shows what has influenced each of the groups and how. Examples of this: Generation X and the Cold War, creating individualists, and the Millennials with the World Wide Web, making them very connected. And as you scroll down, it shows graphics representing each of the age groups, and it is really amazing and thought-provoking how true it is. So, there are a few examples of infographics. But let me explain why this is such a wonderful tool if used correctly. And then I'll tell you how you can find them, use them, and even create your own if you are the super creative type. First though, let me explain how it works. If you find a good infographic, and by the time this show is over you'll know exactly where to go to find a lot of them, you can use it to generate traffic to your website and your Facebook page. Okay, you say, got it, I'm excited, I want to do it. How do I get that to happen? That, my friends, is a great question. Thank you for asking, and here's what you need to know. To make it work for you, you need to find an infographic that will allow you to embed it into your website. I personally embed it into my blog. Then you put the link to the infographic on your Facebook page with a really good description, and when people click on the link, guess where they end up? Your website. And if you've ever listened to my show before, you've probably heard me say that the whole purpose of doing social media marketing is to get people to your website. All your social media sites should lead people directly to your website, and this is a great way to do it. And if someone on Facebook sees your infographic and likes it, you know what happens next? All his or her friends on their page gets notification that he or she liked that link. And what are those friends going to do? Check out the link. And when they check out the link, where do they end up? Your website. Now tell me that is not a great deal. Okay, so now you understand what an infographic is and how they work. If you want to see one in action, check out our blog at successwithmacintosh.com. I just recently put a couple of them up there. But now I promised you I would give you some tools to use in order to get infographics and even build your own if you're so inclined. So right now we're going to take a break. But when we come back, I will tell you exactly how to do what we've been talking about. You'll be really surprised at how easy it is. And once I share this information with you, I'm confident that you will jump on it and you will have a blast with it. So stay tuned, and we will be right back after this.
We'll be right back with Highway to Success with Cynthia McIntosh right after this.
What if it wasn't always about getting ahead? What if you didn't care about being on the fast track? What if your career goals were to change? Instead of flying off to the big interview, what if you flew somewhere else altogether? To embark on a different track? To volunteer in ways you never dreamed of, in places you never imagined yourself being. Like a tiny island in the Pacific, barely visible on a map, but where needs are easy to see. Or a village on the African continent, where just a little training in HIV awareness can change the fate of thousands. What if you decided to share your skills with others and help someone else get ahead? Peace Corps. Life is calling. How far will you go? To find out more, call 800-424-8580 or visit peacecorps.gov.
Hi, I'm comedian Carol Leifer. Animal experiments are no joke. Thank goodness scientists are finding better, more humane ways to develop treatments for cancer and other killer diseases. I hope you'll learn more about the Humane Charity Seal of Approval. It helps donors find charities that provide vital care and advanced research without using animals. For information on how you can give and let live, go to humaneseal.org. That's humaneseal.org.
Hi, this is Cynthia with the Highway to Success Show. I want to thank you for listening to our show today, and I sincerely hope that you're learning new and exciting ways to improve your marketing campaign and to build your business. I want to remind you that we will be here every Wednesday at noon, Pacific Standard Time, to bring you experts in the field of social media marketing, promotions, and business management. So be sure to tune in each week. The Highway to Success Show is brought to you by Success with McIntosh, and you can visit us on the web at successwithmacintosh.com or call us at 866-636-4696. That number again is 866-636-4696, or you can visit us on the web at successwithmacintosh.com.
Hi, this is Nicolas Cage. When you're a teenager, there are a lot of things going on that can produce stress and anxiety. The pressures of school, dating, and the future in general can seem overwhelming sometimes. But there are healthy ways to deal with stress, ways to reduce it and channel your energy in positive directions. And you don't have to do it alone. The Will Rogers Institute has a free booklet with some really helpful information.
For your free copy, visit wrinstitute.org and find us on Facebook and Twitter.
Hello everyone, this is DJ Daniel. Are you looking for a way to make the second half of your Mondays fly by? Then check out Independent Corner here on Indie 104. I give you 3 hours of the best indie artists and bands from the U.S. and around the world. I might even play someone from your hometown.
Hi everyone, this is Lloyd and Katie. We are Garak from Tokyo, Japan.
Hello everyone, this is Morrigan from Ravensheart in the UK.
Hey mates, this is Marty.
And this is Karen.
Of Sugar Rock from Brisbane, Australia.
That's Independent Corner with me, DJ Daniel, every Monday at 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific on Indie 104, iRadio LA.
And we're back with Highway to Success with Cynthia McIntosh.
And welcome back, everyone. For those of you who are just tuning in, my name is Cynthia McIntosh, and I am your host here on the Highway to Success show on Indie 104. We're brought to you by Success with McIntosh, and we offer this show in order to provide ideas and tools to our listeners to help improve their social media marketing campaigns. Today we are talking about a specific type of post that I don't see used nearly enough in the social media marketing world. I'm rather surprised that I don't see it used more often, because using this type of post usually does prove to be quite productive. However, I do know that a lot of people have never heard of these kinds of posts and don't know how or where to get them. So that's why I'm discussing them on this show today. Today we're talking about infographics. And if you missed the first part of the show, you may want to go to my website at successwithmacintosh.com and click on the radio show tab. There you will find archives of my shows, including the show from today. I'm also going to be posting links and other information that we discuss on this show and future shows, so those can also be made available to you. And while you are on our Highway to Success show page, please scroll down to the comment box and let us know your thoughts, your questions, and your successes. We'd love to hear from you. Also, let us know if there's any specific topic that you would like us to cover on the show, and we'll be sure to respond to you. And while I'm on the subject of our website, I wanted to also remind all of you musicians out there that if you are a musician who has a lot of energy and would like to promote your band by being a part of this show, please go to the radio show page on our website and send me a comment to let me know. We'd really like to hear from you. Okay, so I already told you what infographics are and how to use them, and I promised you information on how to find infographics and how to even build them on your own if you're feeling really especially creative today. So let's get on it. Are you ready? Do you have your paper and pencil out? It's the easiest thing ever. In fact, I'm going to have to cover another subject the second half of this show, because covering the subject of where to find and or make infographics is going to take a total of about 2 minutes. So, if you sneeze, you may miss it. But again, if you miss it, the links will be posted on my website, so fear not. So ready? Here we go. Visually. That's it. Go to your website and in your browser type in visually. Now put a dot between the L's. So it's V as in Victor, I-S as in Sam, U-A-L as in Larry, dot L-Y. V-I-S-U-A-L dot L-Y. Interesting, I know. Don't know how they got that domain name, but it works for them. Anyway, go to that website. Sign up for their newsletter, and every day you will get new infographics in your email. And they're really good ones. Choose your favorites and use them. And by the way, did you notice earlier that when I was telling you about the chicken infographic, that it was done by Snapple? Does Snapple sell chickens? I don't believe they do. So keep that in mind. It does not have to be related to your business in any way. Just have fun. You can go to the visual.ly website and choose other infographics other than the ones they send you in the email as well. Just go to their website, choose a category, and have at it. You'll really enjoy reading them. And notice that you can also use their website to build infographics if you really feel bored on any given day. Just be sure, if you build one, that you send it to me and let me see it. I'd love to see what you come up with. So that's it. Infographics are just a great tool and so fun to use. And now that you know how to use them, all you need to do is go to visual.ly. Isn't that amazing? That's what I love about doing this show. I'm always looking for fun tools and new ideas, and there's always new ones popping up. And then I get to share them with my wonderful people listening to Indie 104 so that you can start using them to promote your bands and businesses. I just love my job. So, the only other thing that I wanted to cover with regards to infographics is where to use them. As I said earlier in the show, I put mine in my blog on occasion. Then I take the link to that blog and I post it in my Facebook page. However, there are other options besides using infographic in blogs. They make great content for newsletters as well. And you can embed them in your website on whatever page you want to be sure people end up on when they click on the link for the infographic. Do you have a big event coming up? Create a page on your website for that event. Stick an infographic on the page and post the infographic on Facebook. So what happens when people click on the link on Facebook? They go to the infographic, which is on the page about your event. Get the picture? No pun intended, I promise. Okay, speaking of newsletters, I've talked about newsletters on previous shows. Are you using a newsletter yet? Have you added a tab to your Facebook page to collect email addresses? If not, you really need to. Feel free to go on my website and look at previous shows where we have discussed newsletters, or even look at the blogs. I have some blogs about newsletters on there as well. But read through those, and it'll give you some ideas for newsletters. But newsletters are very important. I know a lot of musicians don't use them, but you really, really should. Any small business should. Larger businesses do, and there's a reason for that. Newsletters are a great way to get in touch with people, and if you do it correctly and use the right company and the right software, it makes it really easy. And it makes it much easier to collect email addresses because they're set up so that when people forward the newsletter to their friends can be added onto your email list and you don't have to do a thing. It just automatically does it when they subscribe. I personally use Constant Contact, as I've mentioned in previous shows, and I'm very happy with them. But there are other ones out there. I just recommend Constant Contact. So go ahead and go on their website and check it out. And if you want to look at others, feel free to do so. But whatever you do, be sure you do get a newsletter going. It's very important. If you need some ideas, like I said, go to our blogs. And Constant Contact has a great blog as well, with all kinds of ideas on what to do with newsletters. And Constant Contact also gives you an app that you can put on your Facebook page. And I believe next week I'm going to do a show on what's called a Fangate page for your Facebook. And that will really help you with collecting emails for doing newsletters. So if you don't know what a Fangate is, be sure to check in next week and we will be covering that. And we'll discuss with you some tools on how to build those. And those are really an excellent tool for collecting email addresses for the purpose of sending out newsletters. And it's also a really fun way to get people to your Facebook page. So be tuning in next week for more information on that. Okay, while we're talking about all this, Some of you might actually be wondering why you would even need to do social media marketing at all. It really surprises me how many business owners have either no social media presence at all, or have a Facebook page with 32 likes on it and 2 posts added to it over the past 6 months. It surprises me even more how many business owners, when asked about their lack of social media marketing exposure, will respond that they aren't really into the Facebook thing or don't think social media marketing will help in their line of work. Many people still feel that social media marketing is just a fad and they don't really understand the value of it. Folks, social media marketing is here to stay. It will evolve, as most things do, and it'll go through some changes, but it is here, and it is the way to reach people in today's market, regardless of your line of work. In fact, in my opinion, it's not a bad way to go if you're out of work. Marketing, promoting, and advertising have one purpose: to reach your potential customers and clients and to create sales. You can do this by buying expensive ads in the newspapers and yellow pages, and you may or may not reach a percentage of your customers who happen to see your ads. You can even pay more and rent a billboard on a busy freeway and reach some of your potential customers that way if they happen to be on that freeway. But chances are very good that a huge percentage of your potential customers that are going to see any of those ads or that billboard are already on Facebook, along with millions of other potential customers who will never see your expensive ads. And for a fraction of the cost of those ads, or maybe even at no expense at all, you can use social media marketing to reach those people. Social media marketing does require time and daily management, and there is absolutely a learning curve to it in order to use it properly, which is why I'm here. And if you plan on doing it yourself, it requires a daily commitment. But it does work. Even large corporations like Pepsi are reducing their budget for conventional advertising campaigns and putting time and money into social media marketing. Most of your customers and potential customers are on Facebook. So why not go to where your customers hang out? Go where they already are. Let me take it one step further. If you're listening to the show, it's because you're more than likely researching social media marketing in order to make a decision on whether to invest in it or not, or you do have social media marketing and you're trying to figure out how to improve it. Here's something to think about. Most business owners believe that referrals are the best source of advertising. I happen to be one of them. You probably are too. If you have a client and customer base already, and you decide to build a Facebook page for your business, the first thing you will do is notify your already happy customers of your new page, and you will ask them to like it. But what happens next is magic, and it happens easily, painlessly, and without you spending a dime. Your customer goes to your page and clicks the like button, and immediately all of his or her friends, as I mentioned earlier in the show, the average Facebook user has approximately 300 of them, will get a notification that says that he or she likes something on your page. And the notification includes a link to your Facebook page. So you just got 300 referrals, as we mentioned earlier in the show. And of course, if any of those 300 people respond to the link that was sent by their friend, then you just got 300 more. You can see how this adds up. Now granted, the next step is converting those likes into sales, but that's a subject for another time. But for now, just let me say that social media marketing is one of the most cost-effective ways of reaching your potential customers. Social media marketing is here to stay, and your customers are on the social media sites waiting for you to reach out to them. And that is one of the many reasons why I believe almost everyone should be using social media marketing. But remember, as you work on all of this, that the purpose for all social media marketing is to get people to your website, to your home. The one purpose for anything you post on Facebook is to get likes to that post, get comments, and to get shares of that post. That's it. It's to get people to respond. It's not even to get likes for your fan page, believe it or not. It's not to make sales. It's not to advertise promotions. It's not to notify people of discounts. It's to get people to like, comment, or share your post. Do you know why? Look at your newsfeed. Do you know how those posts get in your newsfeed? Have you ever thought about it? Well, let me tell you, it's a formula that Facebook uses to decide if something is important enough to post in newsfeeds or not. If not, it sits on your Facebook page and goes no further. If it passes the test, it goes on your fans' newsfeeds, and it gets a lot more attention. Did you know that? The formula is called EdgeRank. And when your post goes through the edge ranking system, If it passes the formula test, then your fans will see it in their newsfeed, even if they didn't respond to it when they got the notification telling them that you posted something on your page. So the chances of them seeing it becomes much higher. It's really important that when people do go to your posts, that they respond in some way. So be sure to post pictures with questions that people can respond to. Be sure to post infographics that people will want to share with their friends. And in the description to the infographics, include a question that encourages your fans to respond and comment to answers to the question. Post videos that people will share, and get people really thinking and responding. If you do this, you will see a big improvement in the activity on your Facebook page. And believe it or not, this is public information, and there is a way of checking your Facebook page to see how it is working with the EdgeRank system. All you need to do is go to edgerankchecker.com, and if you go on there, you can check your own Facebook page and see how it's working and how it's getting through the EdgeRank system. It'll actually grade it for you and tell you what works and what doesn't. So check it out. And while we're talking about EdgeRank, we can take this into consideration as well. I get asked on occasion how often one should post on Facebook. And the answer to that question actually varies, because the answer is you want to post whenever your most recent post stops showing up in your fans' news feeds. And posts perform differently. Some posts last longer than others because it depends on how they rank. So you keep an eye on news feeds, and as long as your post is on the news feeds, you leave it alone. You don't post anymore. You don't want to overpost. You're going to annoy people. You don't want to underpost because you'll lose people. But if somebody sees multiple posts in their newsfeed from you, they're only going to get annoyed, or they're not going to read them at any rate. So the answer to that question is, it depends on how good of a post you put in there. If you put in a post that everybody's still reading, still looking at, still passing around, then wait to post another one. If the post that you did last is not doing that well, put in another one and make it better. So a lot of people do ask how often they should post. I never post more than once a day. Sometimes more, sometimes less. But the best answer to that question is to watch the news feeds and see how long your post lasts. And use your edge ranking system to check that as well. But the main thing I wanted you to get out of today's show is that content is really important. And regardless of what kind of content you decide to use, be sure that it's something that's really enjoyable and really interesting to the people that are going to be going to your page. And that, of course, depends on what kind of fans you have and what kind of customers you have. So you need to know who your customers are. I've done shows on that before as well. So if you want to go through the archive, you can go look for that. But ultimately, one of the things I really like about the infographics is the fact that they can tell a story. And the more of a story that that picture tells, the more interesting it's going to be and the more it's going to get shared. And storytelling is really powerful. Whether it be jokes, whether it be a song with a good story, stories are fun. We start enjoying stories when we're really young in life, and we really never grow out of it. That's why we have movies, that's why we have TV. So when you put something on Facebook, if it's something that tells a really neat story, chances are pretty good that it's going to get shared. So, bottom line is, what I really want you to get out of the show today is that you really think about your content, put some thought into it. I've given you a lot of ideas and a lot of tools to help you to come up with some good content today. So really start working on your content and put together some stuff that people are really going to enjoy. And the more they go onto your page and the more they enjoy your stuff and the more they share your stuff, comment on your stuff, like your stuff, the more your page is going to take off. And that's when it gets exciting. Before I leave you, I wanted to discuss one more thing. I have been talking about the fact that Facebook is a very low-cost form of advertising, and that it is. However, with that being said, I do also want to express that it is absolutely necessary to plan on spending some money on social media marketing. It is necessary to spend money on the right software. It is necessary to use Facebook and pay for promoting different posts. in order to be really successful, you do have to pay some money to make this work. I know a lot of people think that if they are using Facebook, it's going to always be free. It will be if all you're doing is putting posts on Facebook, but that isn't going to get you anywhere either. It really does require that you do spend a little bit of money, but I'm not talking thousands of dollars a month. I'm not even talking hundreds. But it really is necessary to go in and promote your posts. That's how you get new people. And with Facebook set up the way it is now, you can get some wonderful results from your posts by promoting them. So be sure you do that. There are a couple things that you need to do in order to make that work. First off, you want to be sure that when you do a post, right underneath the post, there's settings for whether or not you want your post to be public, or if you want it to be private, or if you want it to be only seen by your friends or friends of friends. So be sure that it's public. Secondly, you want to click on the promote button. There's a menu for promoting, and then you want to set up the correct choices. Let it know how much you want to pay to have it promoted over what period of time. And when you do that, you'll see how many people are going to see your post based on how much you paid. And you'll see some really fascinating results when you do that. The other thing you can do is use the Facebook ads, the advertising. This does work, and it's not very expensive. You can do it by click, you can do it by day, you can do it by budget. But go on and create ads and promote some of your posts that you have on Facebook. This really does help. If you're only going to do it free, you're not going to get the best results. It is very low cost, but you are going to get the best results when you do spend a little bit of money and do a little bit of promoting. The promoting really, really works if it's done correctly. And I think next week I'll maybe discuss that a little bit too, on what works the best when it comes to promoting on Facebook. Maybe we'll go ahead and cover that as well next week, because that is an important point. And Facebook has provided some really powerful tools to use for the purpose of promoting your posts. So we'll discuss that next week and go over some of the best ways of doing that. So I've got a question for all of you. Did any of you try any of the tools that I shared with you last week on the show? Did you have any interesting results? I would love to hear about them. Please go either on my Facebook page or on my website and post a comment. If you go onto the website, go to the radio page and post a comment. I would love to hear some of your stories. And again, if you have any questions, or if you have something that you would like me to discuss next week, please feel free to let me know, and I will be sure to do it. But one of the things that I always find to be a lot of fun is when I get to hear success stories from people that have tried some of the suggestions I've given them. So please feel free to go to the radio show page and post any stories that you have to share about results that you've gotten from trying some of the things that we've talked about. I've been sharing a lot of really powerful tools and a lot of fun ideas with you, and I'd like to know how they're working out. So please let me know. I'd really love to hear from you. Plus, I'm sure that other people that listen to the show would like to hear your stories as well. So we look forward to hearing from you soon. And I'm constantly researching new websites, and there are new exciting tools coming out every day, it seems like, on the internet. So as I research those and find those and study those and figure out what works and what doesn't, I will definitely share those with you here on the radio show. And also, I wanted to tell you, I do understand that not everybody is creative. Not everybody enjoys doing this kind of work. And if you are one of those people and you have a hard time coming up with an idea and you just can't get your imagination to do what it needs to do to come up with ideas for this kind of work, please feel free to contact us. We do have consulting services, and you can call us and we will send you information on that. And we'd be more than happy to meet with you, talk to you on the phone once a month or so, and just help you come up with ideas for things that you need to do. So feel free to go to our website and contact us through there. You can reach us at successwithmacintosh.com. I'd also like to ask everybody that's listening to the show to please go to our website and go to the radio show tab and make comments, ask questions, concerns, let me know what you would like to hear discussed on the radio. And this is your show. This show is on the radio for our listeners. It is a show that is specifically to help our listeners to improve their businesses. So if you have questions, if you have concerns, if you have comments, please be sure to go to Success with McIntosh, click on the radio show tab, and there is a comment box there where you can get in contact with me and let me know your thoughts. And I really would appreciate it if you would do so. Again, this is your show. We're doing this for you. So we need to know what your needs are. We need to know what we can do to really help you with your business. So please be sure to use the comment box to get in touch with us. I want to thank you all again for listening to the Highway to Success show. I hope you enjoyed it. And I want to remind you that you can listen to this and all your other favorite Indie 104 shows by going to indie104.com and going to the on-demand page. The Highway to Success show was brought to you by Success with McIntosh. You can find us on successwithmacintosh.com, or you can call us at 866-636-4696. Again, that number is 866-636-4696, or you can visit us on successwithmacintosh.com. And with that, I'll say goodbye, and we will see you here next week on Indie 104.